So, Clint, cinemas are full of comic book superheroes these days, but recently you've chosen to focus on people who've been hailed as heroes in real life with American Sniper and Sully, and now this film. What's drawn you to these stories, and this one in particular?
Well, I really didn't know until I got talking about it. Most of them are just interesting stories. The Chris Kyle story from American Sniper was, they're all different though, so I wasn't really looking for the heroics necessarily. I was just looking for the story and the situation. Each one has their own kind of life, and I think I really don't have a good explanation. Just that it just seemed like it was the thing to do.
And when it came to
kind of like being there, you know, like Sir Edmund Hillary, because it's there, you know, but they were there, and I thought they had. It was an interesting, their background, the way they were friends from very young childhood, and sometimes not always in a good way. They had no extraordinary education for anything except little odds and ends here and there. Spencer, you know, learning first aid in the service, that would all come to be in this event that happens at the end, and just the way fate treats people. In Sully, the same way, whether, you know, his big thing was, did he make this decision or what decision? You have a second to make it. He has a second to make it. The fact that a gun goes off and fails, has misfire, you have a second to do things.
And when it came to the train sequence itself, what were your kind of guiding principles for shooting that sequence and in the confines of that small space as well?
Well, just to get it as close as I could to the real, it's funny because they remembered certain aspects of it, but they didn't remember it. It was all so quick that they don't remember it that much. I mean, it was all done, you know, boom, and it was, but I just interpreted it from their point of view, visualizing it from some other passenger's point of view and the different, and just kind of went into it. And they did good, and the one actor was the perpetrator, the villain, so to speak. He was a professional actor, and he was great because he was happy to be working with it as it really came down too. So everybody had the same thing, but you know, there's the difference between making a decision, this entertainment, and the other is what really happened, and what people should always be aware that you might need somebody helping you.
And you've talked a bit about us being in an era of political correctness and people being very easily offended.
Yeah.
I just wondered if that ever makes you cautious about what you say in case it's
No, I'm never cautious about what I say, because you know, I've been around a long time. That's what can they do, you know? But it's the question. The political correctness era that we're in is really not doing anybody any good, I don't think. I think it's just taking everybody, it's just kind of weakening this society. Instead, in other words, it doesn't seem that people have to take themselves so serious. It seems like, you know, of course I'm just lucky because I grew up in an era where we all lived in a very, everybody, you'd joke about anything, and there was nothing that was politically incorrect because it was always a joke or within a sense of humor. And I think people sometimes are losing that and taking themselves very seriously and everybody seriously. I think they're missing a lot by not enjoying the differences that we all have.
Clint Eastwood, thanks very much. It's been an honor
Thank
talking
you.
to you. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys,
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!